Yes, we're live. Welcome back to the Junius Maltby channel. Just a slight delay. I don't know. I said we'd start around 2 or 3 minutes ago, maybe 5 minutes ago. Had to make Mrs. Maltby a milkshake. Yes, and I saw all of the funny jokes in the chat there. So yes, I am familiar with that song. I believe it's I don't
La
remember.
la la la
I
la.
don't remember who it is. All I know is if we go down that path, it'll get stuck in my head. Then I'll resent the people who mentioned
It
it.
was a 2000s nightmare, actually.
The only part that it was good was when they used it in the movie Dodgeball and Ben Stiller does his little skit at the end. So I thought that was pretty funny. But yes, I do actually make a really good milkshake, and I'm not gonna lie about it. It's probably the best that you could ever possibly have. I could tell people how to make it, but last time I shared a recipe on this channel, there was some drooling entity on the other side of the screen, like smashing their keyboard with their booger covered fingers, and they're like, I don't come here to hear recipes, man. I came here to talk about silver, man. So I won't tell you guys how to make the greatest
that was when you were talking
milkshake
about
in the
your
world.
grandma's peach trees.
I was talking about my grandma's peach tree. I don't know. It's one of my rambling stories. Yes, you're on the extemporaneous ramblings of a madman. This is an evening edition. This is the Junius Maltby channel. I do happen to be unscripted, unrehearsed, and whatever. I mean, this is just it. Fly by the seat of my pants. I was checking out this article earlier, and then it dawned upon me: what are you doing reading this alone, Junius? This would be one of those. This would be a fun article to read with your friends, all of your friends, your internet friends. FRENS. Yes, friend. You guys are all my friends. Hello, friends. I'm going to tell you how to make the milkshake before we get started. Start with a good vanilla ice cream. And this is a cookies and cream milkshake. So write this down. If people don't like it, tough. If you're dairy or lactose intolerant, tough. I don't care. As a matter of fact, this particular milkshake has two toxins in it: lactose and gluten. Probably kill 80% of Americans. I'm surprised it's even legal. It should be a Schedule 1 milkshake. It's a cookies and cream milkshake, and you're going to start off with the base is always what I use is I believe it's Tillamook, right? It's Tillamook ice cream, vanilla. Breyers works. Just don't get carried away with some weird. It's got to be a vanilla ice cream base, but don't do like a French vanilla or any of the other ones. It should just be straight vanilla, or like old fashioned vanilla is fine. But you don't need to go like over the top vanilla. Just a vanilla base. But I like the Tillamook one for some reason. Maybe it's the price. And then you put it. I like them thicker, so you put a couple of good scoops of that in a nice little blender. I don't know. I measure it by eye. I do some big scoops of ice cream in there. I do a couple of splashes of milk. Now, this is enough for one glass, one milkshake, one person. A couple of splashes, maybe half, 3/4, I don't know, cup of milk. Whole milk if you got it. Half and half's better. You know, whole milk's pretty good though. You don't want to scrimp on that. You want that fat. You want that fat for your myelin sheaths and your overall well-being. And then here's the trick: do not put the cookies in yet. Cover it, and I use like the ice crush feature, so you can pulsate it. Hit that like 3 or 4 times. Shake the blender, maybe hit it again. If you have to use the spoon to break stuff up to get it more even consistency, you can do that too. Now, remember, I used to mix concrete, cement, and mortar as a young man, so I'm pretty good at mixing substances and getting them to a right consistency. I usually don't have to add any more milk or ice cream, but sometimes if I fudge up one way or the other, if it's too thick or too thin, I can always add a little bit.
You can't use the word fudge up when you're giving a recipe
Oh
because
yeah,
you might
someone might use it. There's okay.
confuse people.
Yeah, there's no fudge in this. You push the pulse, you get it to the right, almost. I get it right before it's done. Like you want it, it's still a little thick maybe. Then, now this is where you can divert. Mrs. Maltby likes the extra stuffed Oreos, so they have a little bit more of the white stuff that actually has whatever.
More
that,
racist.
it's got titanium dioxide or
It's a
something
more
crazy.
racist cookie.
It's actually got
white
more.
in it.
It's got the more of the stuffing. But the key is 4 cookies. 4 Oreo cookies go into this shake. If you're really over the top for Oreos and you love them, then you can throw in 5. I don't care. But typically, I just throw 4 cookies in there, and then I kind of push them down with a spoon so they're closer to the blade. Put the lid back on, and then I pulse it again a couple more times. Boom, boom, boom. Shake it, maybe one more stir, and then I pulse it until they're pretty much evenly pulverized the cookies into a small enough particles to where they can make it up into a straw. Then I throw some whipped cream on top, and voila, done. You have a Mrs. Maltby
Do you want to know
cookies
what
and
the
cream.
real secret is?
But I use regular Oreos as well. You don't have to use a double stuff. What's that?
The real secret to milkshakes is, if it's not cookies and cream, it's trash.
Yeah, it has. Mrs. Maltby only has cookies and cream milkshake. That's the only one that's allowed for her. That's what she makes. I like a straight up vanilla milkshake personally, but I gotta be honest, a cookies and cream shake is pretty good. So there you have it. That is my milkshake.
I'm gonna unsub now. I hated all of that.
Well, this is not a cooking channel, but sometimes I will show you a life hack and a trick.
That really triggered
If you
me.
follow my instructions, I promise you, you will indeed make a very good cookies and cream milkshake. There you go. If you you can't make this stuff up. I didn't plan on telling you this. It's just the way it is. It was the opener for tonight. That's it. So bookmark that, share it, make one for your mom, or your brother, your sister, your dad, your kid. I don't know. Make them, but have fun with it. Now this is what I was looking at earlier. Every once in a while I stop by two sites just to see what's up, what they've got, because they always put together some pretty good content, pretty good material for the topics that I like to talk about. And this one came from the Visual Capitalist. Sometimes I like to go to demonocracy.info as well. And then Cryptic00, he's throwing down a super chat, so I'm going to say, hey, thank you, Cryptic00. He says, Junius Milkshakes brings all the feds to the yard.
And
They're like, Junius, get in the van. Damn right, I won't get in your van. I can't teach.
I can teach
I can teach you, Illuminati man, but I won't get in the van. I like it. That's good. Yes, it brings all the feds to the yard. That's a good one. That's a good play on that.
That's what I said earlier. I said the milkshakes bring a lot of target practice to the yard.
So the article title from the Visual Capitalist, and this is out 5 days ago, and it was sponsored by a mining company, so we'll take it, like the BlackRock Silver. But silver through the ages, the uses of silver over time. Some pretty good little fun jaunt through history here. I figured we could all have a good read here. We'll share it together, and I'll enjoy it with you guys. I was going to read this by myself, but then I thought, you know what? I'll bring the friends in. So silver is one of the most versatile metals on Earth, as you guys know, because you're part of this channel. We talk about it all the time, with a unique combination of uses as both a precious and industrial metal. There's some stuff in this article, by the way, because I read it before this, that really surprised me. I got to be honest with you. I can't believe some of the stuff silver is being used for. It's phenomenal. Today, silver's uses span many modern technologies, including solar panels, electric vehicles, 5G devices. However, the use of silver in currency, medicine, art, jewelry have helped advance civilization, trade, and technology for thousands of years. Here's the uses of silver over time from the Visual Capitalist and presented by myself here. The below infographic, this is from BlackRock Silver, again takes us on a journey of silver's uses through time from the past to the future. And we've looked at silver over time, right? I mean, we've spent a lot of time on this channel discussing the coinage and even the earlier applications in Greece and Rome, what things purchased with it, and how it changed civilization over time. So some of this will be review. But the evolution of silver's uses, silver is widely known as a precious metal, but more than half of its demand comes from industries. This is from the World Silver Survey in 2021. So look at this first bout of statistics here. 17.8% in jewelry, 4.2% in silverware. I didn't even know people still use silver. It's actually surprising. 24.5% physical investment. Look at that. That's a pretty big hefty percentage there in physical investment. 2.8% in photography. And then 50.7% industrial. Of the 524 million ounces of silver demand from industries, 105 million ounces came from solar panels. Adjust what? What do you need adjusted?
I can't see the porcentajes.
Oh, you should be able to. It's right on there. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. Transitioned it for all of you. So 50.7% industrial. And again, 105 million ounces came from solar panels. So that's incredible to me. And I think that industry is going to continue growing. So you'll see that number increase. But I don't believe supply will be able to sustain that. Now, which explains a lot of why people are putting some away as investment in the future, waiting for the demand. And who knows what kind of technologies they'll unlock, what kind of applications and uses. Because wait till you see this list. And what we're going to discover here is, it seems to me that things are always being discovered as far as an application for this. Now here's some properties that I thought were pretty cool mentioned. And one of them I always forget. I never talk about the antibacterial part as much, but it's also very common. Silver has several properties that make it useful in industries. Highest electrical conductivity of all metals, which is incredible. Highest electrical, it's the highest. I thought gold, for a long time, I thought gold had more conductivity than silver did. And I was wrong. Silver is the highest electrical conductivity of all the metals, which is surprising. Now, high reflectivity, of course, that used to be used in mirrors. High ductility, high malleability, and then the antibacterial properties. Let me tell you a quick story. I actually got a pretty significant injury once, well, 2 different times on my hand as a kid. One was a burn, but one was I got caught between 2 wooden beams at a construction site when I was working as a youth. Yes, working as a youth. And my hand got crushed and was partially degloved, like a bunch of skin got peeled off the palm.
That's my worst nightmare.
It's horrible. Yeah, it was pretty good, mostly from the fingers and palm. One of the things they gave me was this really cool silver ointment. It was a white ointment, but it had a lot of silver in it, and I was supposed to change the dressings and put this silver ointment on my hand, and it actually healed very, very well. And it was incredible. It healed just fine and never got infected or anything. And I believe that was due to the silver that was in this specific medical ointment that was because of the antibacterial properties. Now, while it has many uses in modern economy, its applications in daily life go back a long way, as many of you know, because we've spent years on this channel talking about history. So let's take a look at the past silver uses through time. And here's how silver uses have evolved with time and technology. Let's start in 3000 BC to the Middle Ages. Let's go through that period. Now, before silver coins, hack silver and silver ingots were used as a medium of exchange. So just like chunks or pieces of like nugget or whatever they could find, parcels or portions of silver, maybe from something that had been fashioned out of it. But that's before coins. They would just deal with pieces or parts of ingots. Figurines were also made. Decorative household items and ornaments were often made of silver. Again, long time ago. And then silver coins became a common currency for trade. Again, in the area around Mesopotamia, as well as Greece. And then we have what was the coin made of Electra? Was it the Lydians? They made the stater. And I actually showed you guys a museum replica, a copy of one of those. But this is, again, this time period, 3000 BC, up through the early Greeks and Mesopotamia region. All of a sudden, coins are on the scene. They're making them out of silver, out of gold, out of bronze, and it's being used in daily commerce as a medium of exchange, a unit of account, a liquidity anchor, you name it. Humans pretty much identified the properties of silver as being such that, hey, this is good money, and this works. This works as a way to settle these transactions, these trades, these debits, anything. And that's why I made a video years ago for everyone here on the channel. Some of you early members might remember this. It was silver, money for 7,000 years, something like that was the title. And we talk about how silver has been money for essentially, 70 centuries or so. Wine and food containers were made out of silver due to their ability to fight bacteria. They must have noticed that things that were foods kept in a silver vessel kept better or didn't spoil as long. As bad. They didn't know about the microbiological world, bacteria and such, but they made the connection that somehow, for some reason, there was something magical about silver and food kept in it didn't go bad as quickly. And if you know, that lasted all the way up until even the 19th century, even probably this century, because there was the old adage or wisdom, I guess you could call it an old grandma hack, where they would put a silver quarter or a silver dime in a gallon of fresh milk. Back in the day when milk was not as pasteurized and such, milk would keep longer and better if they put a silver quarter or silver dime, silver coin in the milk jug. It would kill the bacteria circulating there and have it keep longer, which is a true thing. You can look it up. So again, silver's been used throughout all cultures and times to preserve food even. Now, people often dropped. Oh, here, look at this. I didn't even know this. I didn't even read this part. I skipped ahead on my own. It says right here, people often dropped silver coins into barrels of water and milk on long journeys to slow degradation. And that was a thing in a lot of the frontier part of the United States, even in early colonial America, where they would use a silver coin to help milk keep. That's what I always remember hearing about it anyway. Now, families used silver utensils to protect themselves during the bubonic plague. Silver spoons looks like right there. And then, here we go, in the 1500s, the Spanish real became the primary currency for international trade. The 8 reals coin. We've talked extensively on that. We've shown examples of that. But really, that's when, boom, international trade. You know, that's obviously where the origins of the dollar come from. And the 8 reals, the Spanish real, became this unit of account that just spread throughout the world. In the hulls of ships, purchasing silks, spices, porcelains, all kinds of things.
So channel member Eric Hoffner says that's the origin of the term milk spots.
Milk spots, okay, on silver.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I know I've seen that. I mean, the term, I'm familiar with it, but I also know that some coins from certain mints, having never been near milk, develop milk spots, and I don't know if it has to do with the imperfections in the dyes, oxidization, something that was some metal impurities or the way they're struck, but I know the Royal Mint has struggled time and again with milk spots, especially if any of you remember some of the early Queen's Beasts coins when they came out. They were very common.
The Queen took my money today.
Oh, what?
The Queen took some of my money today.
How?
I think it's the only time I will ever purchase from the Royal Mint.
You bought the Royal Mint coin today?
The half-ounce one.
You didn't even tell me this. You bought the 2 half-ounce pieces? The Tweedledee Tweedledum and then the other one?
Cheshire Cat.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
You really wanted those?
Alice in Wonderland is essentially one of my... Like, that's a thing.
You guys are hearing this at the same time I'm learning it. I did not know that Mrs. Maltby bought herself the little Royal Mint half-ounce coin.
I can't tell you how many times I've seen that movie.
She wanted those.
Read the book since I was a child, and I wanted to name one of my kitties Dinah.
Now you got the little half-ounce Royal Mint coins with Alice.
There's no way in hell I'm
the full
$300 for
the full ounce ones are crazy. They're only minting 3,500 of them.
I'm but a plebe.
But at the end of the video, I'll bring them up. I'll show everyone what we're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
They can see it, and we'll show them the coin that you had your eyes on today. So here we go. We left off in the 1500s, the 8 reals coin. Now let's go to the 1800s to the 2000s. It's funny because we're beyond the 2000s. We have to go beyond that to get into today's day and age when things get really weird. Now, in the early 1800s, surgeons used silver sutures to reduce post-operative inflammation. Wow, that would be nice. I guess silver sutures, silver wire. Newborns in the U.S. were prescribed silver nitrate eye drops to fight conjunctivitis. Silver nitrate solution. And during World War I, soldiers carried silver leaf dressings into battle to help fight infections. So they actually had bandages or gauze wraps impregnated with silver. NASA chose silver ions for water purification on the International Space Station. And then silver-based films have been used in photography since the 1800s. Silver became a common layer in mirrors and windows for its reflectivity. So obviously this is not in the order of time, because we know that these mirrors made with silver came before NASA produced their space station. And then, of course, down here you got silver was a catalyst in the production of ethylene oxide and formaldehyde, which are used to create polyester, molded items, plastic adhesives, toys, and more. And it's funny, they show a little Game Boy, which I really wanted when I was a kid and I never had one. But I'm sure there might even be some silver in there because of the computer device and circuitry required in the manufacture of that toy. But it looks like it's pointing more at the polyester, molded items, and plastics as being used as part of the silver process. Interesting. I didn't know that there was a catalyst in producing ethylene oxide and formaldehyde, which are used to create polyester molded items. That is something I did not know until today about an industrial application for silver. Now, mined silver production, prehistory to 2001. This is an interesting fact. Pay attention to this. This is interesting here. Look at this. 1.6 million tons. That's it. So all of the mined silver production, prehistory, up through 2001, 1.6 million tons of silver. A lot of it used, a lot of it destroyed, consumed. Now we're going to go to the 2000s to the present. Here we've got caustic pencils, silver nitrate sticks. They're commonly used to treat warts and ulcers. Silver nitrate sticks. Did not know that either. Now we've got these silver sulfadiazine cream applied to burn wounds to prevent infection. See, that's what I had when I was younger. And it would have been before 2000. That was about 1999 when I had that, I think. Silver sulfadiazine cream applied to burn wounds and prevent infection. This is good stuff for sure. I can vouch for it. Here's another interesting one that I didn't know until I read through this. Water purification systems. That makes sense because, again, NASA used it earlier. We saw that, silver ions in small quantities. But having these filtration systems with silver in them, the water would flow through to kind of make it antibacterial. Brilliant. I would like that installed in my water supply system. I think it's amazing. That's really cool. And of course, you know it's going to do its job. Silver is found in the membrane switches of almost all electronic devices. And this was an application that I read about actually this year. I learned it this year, but this is reviewing it again. I mean, it's essentially, think about all the contact points, the membrane, the switches, and it's like, that's almost every single keyboard, laptop, most computers you could possibly even see or imagine utilizing silver in that application. So that's a heavy demand, heavy consumption of silver right there. And some of the capacitors in our smartphones use silver as an electrode. We've looked that up in the past. There is a specific measurable amount of grams in silver. I can't quote it off the top of my head. I want to say something along the lines of, I don't know, 3.5, 5 grams, I think. One of you guys, and I'm sure it changes per model of phone, obviously, you know, if it's depending on the make, manufacturer, size, and the model, there's going to be a variance there when it comes to how much silver is used. But I believe every smartphone today has some measurable gram amount of silver in it. Laundry detergents. And this is a new one to me also. I did not know that until today, that there was laundry detergents that use silver nanoparticles to eliminate bacteria. Imagine that. Now that's an application of silver. You're probably not going to get it back. All that silver that you push through the laundry is going to go into the sewer system or a septic tank or wherever, out to sea, I don't know, wherever your laundry water goes. If you're in India, maybe it goes into the Ganges and then it goes out into the Gulf.
Please don't talk about the Ganges.
I don't know where the water goes. All I'm saying is at some point, if you're using laundry detergents that have nanoparticles of silver in them, that silver's probably gone forever. And then, here, check this out. Jet engines and helicopters. Yeah, the engines in helicopters, which sometimes are a jet turbine engine, use silver bearings for their strength and high thermal resistance. That is another application of silver I did not know existed. Silver bearings. Can you imagine that? And it makes sense. It makes sense, again, because of their heat resistance and their strength. But silver bearings, phenomenal. Photovoltaic solar panels, of course you guys are familiar with this. They contain as much as 20 grams of silver. And there's a lot of them. They're producing them all the time. And this is one of the huge driving points that people talk about as far as continued silver demand as the world attempts to go green.
A point that Maru said.
Yeah.
She said, one of the reasons I'm amused by cryptocurrencies, try having them without silver.
That's true. They need them to survive. They need them to move, to send, to buy. Oh, it's amazing. That's actually a phenomenal fact. Gold as well. Both of those metals are contained in every device that would ever utilize to buy or send or receive. They need. It's funny because Mimaru brings up an excellent point. Cryptocurrency requires, it literally requires gold and silver to exist. Mm-hmm. Whereas gold and silver does not need cryptocurrency to exist.
Yes.
There's a meme somewhere in that. There's a meme somewhere out there somebody could make. It could be like, gold exists, Gold and silver exist. And then
Yeah.
some type of image. I'm sure somebody brilliant, someone can tap into the meme magic, the dark meme lords, and figure that out. Now, batteries for electric vehicles. We've talked about EVs for quite some time. And, of course, they're pushing this again. They're really trying. It's always in the news, especially as hot as the summer is. They're going to try to make electric vehicles a big push again to solve that problem. I'm sure they are. It's, oh, my God. Greta's running around with her braids, and she's freaking out. She's yelling at people, how dare you? But battery electric vehicles contain between 25 to 50 grams of silver. So you're talking multiple ounces, right? Multiple ounces in electric vehicles. And internal combustion engine vehicles contain about 15 to 28 grams. So again, regardless, a vehicle contains about an ounce of silver almost. Electric vehicles contain about 2 ounces. Silver and copper-based filters are being used in air conditioning systems to eliminate bacteria. Now, look at this. The mined silver production, earlier it was what, 1.6 we read? Look at this. Mined silver production from 2001 to 2020, 0.48, almost 500,000 tons. More than a quarter of the silver mined over thousands of years was mined in the last 20 years. Which means this channel's been around for about 10 of those almost, right? So we've been around for about a quarter million tons of silver has been mined approximate since the inception of the Junius Maltby channel. The sources for this are Silver Institute, USGS, the Geological Survey, World History Encyclopedia, Reuters, Bullion Vault, Provident Metals. So they all kind of, I guess, have come up with that number. Silver has found applications in various technologies over time. Today, it's critical for the next generation of technological advancements, from electronics to renewable energy and electric vehicles. As the world pushes towards decarbonization, silver demand will always persist. Yes, as the world goes green, they're going to need more of it. They depend upon it. All the crypto maxis and the Bitcoin maxis, they're going to have to realize, man, you guys need silver just to have what you got, just to buy and sell or send or receive. Very interesting. And then, of course, it goes into a little bit more detail down here. The earliest accounts of silver traced to 3000 BC in modern-day Turkey, where its mining spurred trade in the ancient Aegean and Mediterranean seas. Traders and merchants would use hack silver, rough-cut pieces of silver, as a medium of exchange for goods and services. Around 1200 BC, the ancient Greeks began refining and minting silver coins from the rich deposits found in the mines of Laurion, just outside of Athens, which I believe they still use today. By 100 BC, modern-day Spain became the center for silver mining for the Roman Empire, while silver bullion traveled along the Asian spice trade routes. And by the late 1400s, Spain brought its affinity for silver to the New World, where it uncovered the largest deposits of silver in history in the dusty hills of Bolivia. Yes, the Potosi mine. Besides the uses of silver in commerce, people recognized its ability to fight bacteria, as we discussed, for instance, wine and food containers, etc. Pretty amazing. And then, of course, we looked at all of the medical uses, the advancements, and I'm telling you guys, it's not going to stop there. It's not going to stop there. I believe that, of course, the computer age is pretty new still, if you think about it. Look at, people didn't have access or even have computers in every home until after the late 90s, even in the early 2000s. There's still many people that don't have access to them. Of course, there's new ones coming out every day, new chips, new programs, new devices, all of them requiring silver. And, of course, technology, it seems like, accelerates the velocity of it expanding into new areas. Seems almost unstoppable. And it just seems like no matter what, as humans progress and continue onward in this timeline, they constantly find new ways of incorporating silver into their cultures, their technology, their devices, things that aid and abet us, things that help us in everyday life. It's incredible. So I would only imagine that demand would continue. However, as we've discussed on this channel, there's only so much of silver. There's only so much. We've looked at the U.S. Geological Survey studies. We've looked at actually the largest study that I know of when it comes to supplies of silver and peak silver. and how it relates to its presence in the Earth's crust at the rate that people are consuming it and mining it. And of course, that the conclusion's been around 2030s, 2040, but about most say 2032, 2034, somewhere in that range, peak silver. So we'll see. We'll see how that turns out. But it's a good play, especially going forward, looking at supply, looking at demand, but also the backdrop that we always discuss, and that is the United States and the global economy. Like we talked about this morning, theft on a global scale, inflation, hyperinflation, debasement, devaluations of currencies, a rocky and unstable world where the economies are all teetering. The banks are, they're coked out of their minds, gambling, risking everyone's wealth. The whole thing's ready to fall apart. It's a house of cards. And we've got this geriatric kleptomaniac at the helm. So either way, silver's probably not a bad bet. Now, we're going to check out the Royal Mint, show your little Alice thing that you wanted to check out.
Why, to torture me further?
Well, they might not know what it looks like. So we'll show them the little half-ounce coins that you bought. Royal Mint.
I just couldn't, 100 pounds for 1 ounce of silver?
This is the half-ounce ones, right?
Yeah, that is.
I'll share them with everyone so they can see what they look like. This is what Mrs. Maltby was so fixated on. She wanted the 1 ounce ones, but she settled because these are a little bit larger mint population.
It's quite literally the only time
It's the only time you've ever bought from the Royal Mint.
Quite literally.
They're only making 5,000 of these. That's not very many.
That's still a lot.
It's a very limited edition.
No.
And then
that's the poor version that I bought. Show them the one that actually made me irritable to where you had to make me a milkshake.
Okay, let's show them the big one.
Kalna, thank you for your super chat. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you, Kalna. Very much appreciated. So there's the colorized versions.
Yeah.
And these are the 1 ounce coins, right?
Yes, those are the 1 ounce.
And these are the original. They were taken from the original illustrations. We watched.
Yes, Carlos Danger, my premiums.
There's some premiums on these.
My premiums on these.
Mrs. Maltby did not care because it was Alice in Wonderland.
I would have done it. If I had the ability, I would have done it.
So let's check it out now. You go down here. You know how I found these actually? I'll tell them. I was just doing stuff, perusing. I was actually getting ready to produce a video for you guys in the chat. And you know how YouTube recommends videos, and this was like a recommended video because I watch coin videos and stuff. And it was from the Royal Mint, and it was how this coin was designed. And I knew Mrs. Maltby, being the little Alice in Wonderland fan that she is, I didn't know she'd react the way she did, but she kind of flipped out. She got really excited, and then she saw the price. So here's they make them in cupro clad, which is
you guys should have seen my face.
Not silver.
The way it changed when I saw the price.
She got excited. But where's the silver? Here we go. These are the 1 ounce silver proofs colorized. Yeah. Now look at how rare these are going to be. I don't know what motivates them to do this or why. Like, why not just make more of a particular coin? I don't know I guess it's immediate collectibility. I mean, these things are
deeply ingrained in my childhood.
Well, look at this. They're only making
childhoods of many's for centuries.
Oh yeah, yeah. You loved it since the Disney and the book, right?
Well, since I knew of its existence when I was a wee child.
I'm talking about the minting population here. I don't know what motivates the Royal Mint to do this, to keep it at 3,500. That's just a very limited, very small mint. That's very small mintage, and you guys know what I'm talking about when it comes to.
Up in the sky.
There's not. I don't even know if the U.S. Mint has done such a small mintage when it comes to modern coins. I could be wrong. I think maybe some of the privy marks like the West Point Eagle and such, the World War II coins, but these 3,500 is not very many, and it looks like they're taking orders still. So
then Junius looks at me as if I was a child in a toy store and says, "One day, Mrs. Maltby, maybe one day you'll have those."
Here's my favorite part.
And it made me flip out.
Because I'm an edge letter freak, and I like edge letters on a coin. And this actually has edge lettering on it, and I don't know what it says. OUR I-O.
Yes, Carlos Danger. That's where it originates. The going down a rabbit hole.
Yes.
The phrase. That's where it originates from.
I wish it would tell me what the edge lettering says.
I wish it wasn't 100 pounds a coin and I could purchase. But
Denomination 2 pounds. Maximum coin mintage 3,510. I wonder where the other 10 are for. That must be for special people.
Did you know that 1 out of 3,500 will not be mine?
Yeah. That's true. 1 out of 3. I'm trying to figure out what the edge lettering says and I can't read it. Someone's going to have to help me out. It's got to be something special to the series.
What does it say? Let me see.
I'm trying to see if it mentions it in the description, but I don't think
Literally scroll up.
O-U-R-I-O-U-S-E.
No, you can't.
You can read it. I can read it exactly. That's exactly what it
I'd
says.
have to see it later myself. It doesn't show or it doesn't say in the description?
It doesn't tell you what it says. I cannot tell what it says.
I don't know. Without more pictures.
I'm curious though. Our
Hey, read what Eric Hoffner said in the chat.
What did Eric Hoffner say in the chat? I can't read it. Where is he at?
It's
He
one
says
of
Mr. Maltby should have bought one for her. I probably should have.
Oh,
But
is that what it says?
that's what it says.
Wait, no. Is that really what it says?
What?
Oh, no. I thought. Fontana Ranha said it probably says Curiouser.
Oh, it does.
Oh,
They're right.
good job.
It does.
That's
It does say that. It says
One more detail to...
It says Curiouser.
Yeah, Curiouser and Curiouser. That's in the book.
On the edge. That's what it says. It says that right on the edge of it. But it only says that on the 1 ounce
Just like
coin.
another detail as to why I want these. And
So it says it on the 1 ounce coin.
are we
Mrs.
done
Maltby.
looking at these now?
There you go. One day, Mrs. Maltby. One day. One day. Well, that's another application for silver. It's, it made it into these psychedelic, spooky, and bizarre Lewis Carroll novel coins. These Alice in Wonderland,
I have
Alice
never
Adventures.
gotten so excited over silver in my life, except when one of our channel members showed me the nesting doll coin.
And of all the things they chose to put out as far as images from the book,
Those are
I wonder why
extremely
these
iconic, Junius. Those are, first of all, let's educate you on Alice. Those are 2 different books.
Oh.
There's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, and the second one is Through the Looking Glass. There are 2 books.
Oh, that's why they did this.
That's why there are 2.
So I'm learning all
Yes.
of this. Brilliant. You're going to have to get these 2 then one day, huh? Maybe we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out one day. Who knows? Maybe you'll get lucky for Christmas or something. I don't know. I just can't see spending the price of a nice firearm on 2 little coins like that aren't really old. I mean, if they were like old pieces of 8.
The silver suits you, huh?
Yeah, if they were like Spanish pieces of 8 from a
Roosevelt.
Roosevelt. Oh, yes.
The shipwreck coin?
Oh, my goodness.
I believe it was around approximately in the
So
same
let's wait.
ballpark.
Your birthday's next year.
My birthday passed.
It's okay. You have a year. And you also have Christmas. Maybe I'll go in on it. Maybe me and Buffalo Billy will get you one for Christmas. Little Billy the kitty.
Oh, Lord Humongous. Jefferson Airplane.
All right.
One pill makes you larger, and one pill makes you small.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. I now have a maniacal kitty that just jumped on my lap who's demanding some attention. So I'm petting his little walnut skull.
Rogue Silver says, my wife would side-eye me to death until she got it if she wanted it that bad.
Oh, yeah. I get that.
You guys don't know.
I get her.
You weren't there
She
this
gets what
morning.
she wants.
I was such an irritable child. I was such a brat about this.
Well.
And then I grew back to my age.
Yeah. And then you did. You settled and you made some concessions and you bought yourself the little half-ounce versions. That's good. Perfect.
Yeah,
Good for you.
But
Hey.
that was like a that was more to like satisfy my.
I just broke this little kitty. Smashing this little kitty.
It was for my mental health.
This little kitty.
Because those are the ones I want.
They don't realize I'm being attacked by little Billy.
I don't even want that much in life.
Alrighty. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want you all to have a good rest of your evening.
Yes,
Go
thank
check
you,
out your,
everybody, channel members.
Celebrate being part of the 65 centuries or 70 centuries, whichever
Oh.
dates you pick, of owning silver.
Lisa Willis asked earlier in the live chat if we had an idea of when we would be doing our next raid, and I had thought perhaps on July 28th to commemorate the day the Spanish Armada set sail.
Oh, July 28th, the day the Spanish Armada set sail. I would like that very much.
Yeah.
That'd be that's a good time period. And we'll have to check the calendar, check the schedule, and you arrange that. That'd be
Yes.
awesome.
But perhaps it'll be around that time, and perhaps there might be a surprise raid before that.
Oh, there's always
Who am
time.
I
There's
to
always
say?
time for surprise raids. Yes. Yes, we will plan on that. So be prepared for the Spanish Armada celebration raid. I like that. That's a good date. Let's definitely carve that out of the old schedule. Make sure that happens because
Yes.
I feel like some pieces of 8. And, that didn't turn out too good for them, though. I believe some of it. Is it the one that sank? Which one?
What?
Yeah.
The Spanish Armada?
Yeah. I mean, I know that one, but I thought you were talking not the Armada, the treasure fleet. I thought you were talking about the treasure fleet that set sail that was delayed. You're talking about the Armada that went up against England. Dang it. See, I would want more like. That's a key date, but it's not. I don't know. I think the treasure. I'd have to look at when the treasure fleet launched during hurricane season. But I was going to say it didn't turn out too well for them. They lost all that treasure.
That was that one.
No, different fleet. The Spanish had a lot of ships, milady. The Armada was the one that went up against. That's known historically.
But they were lost in August.
They went to fight England and
they were lost in August.
yeah. The Spanish had very bad luck in late summer, whether it's British cannons or hurricanes. They tended to lose lots of ships. The old Spaniards. Well, yeah, we'll check that. I'm going to read about that. I'll look at that one to see what date it is exactly historically, and it doesn't really matter. It's always a good day for a raid.
Yes.
Fine. All right, ladies and gentlemen, take care of yourselves. Be well, and if you're looking for something rare from the Royal Mint.
Oh, yes, on August 15th, the raid for Turkey Dick Nixon.
Oh, yeah, that's happening.
That is happening.
That's the 50th anniversary.
Yeah.
So mark your calendars on that. I actually have it marked in my phone.
Yes.
That's going to be a raid of raids.
It's going to be like the May Day one.
Yeah. And that's going to be a fun one, definitely.
Yeah.
Everyone, be well. Take care. Have a good night. Thanks for tuning in to the Junius Maltby Channel.
Thank you all, and good night.